All right, selectors, we are back with more DC Fandome. This is our third section. Trying to break this up in little chunks for you guys. Hopefully, you're liking this. They're kind of going over some fan artwork and talking about how to make it better. But we are back for this secret. Let me pull this up for you guys so you can see it. This is okay, so they're going over Jim Lee's portfolio right now. Surprise DC Comics panel. So we want to check that out and see what's going on. They are tuning in just a few seconds. So let's run the intro. We didn't run the intro in the last section, so you know exactly who we are. You ready? I'm ready. Let's go. All right. So they are getting this thing going. It's nice that they're just helping him out. Here we go. We're jumping to the next section. If you guys have been enjoying this, man, please give us a thumbs up, all right?
From the page to the screen, actors and artists bring these DC supervillains to life, and in real life, cosplayers do the same thing.
Looks like they're going to jump into cosplay here, so we will pop over to that in just a second. So like I was saying, this is our third section, and man, pretty sweet. I think this event has been very, very informative. They've done just such a great job. Just really a great job with everything, really. One panel that I haven't cared for so far. I'm just going to turn this off in my ear. There's only been one panel. The Flash panel has been the only one that I've been like, you had to do it, but it didn't come through well. But Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman, their panels have been amazing. So very, very well done on that end. All right. Sounds like we're coming back. Is this a surprise panel? Yeah. Okay, so I didn't know if this was going to be a surprise panel, like they bring out the cast of Justice League earlier or anything like that. So let's just talk about again more what has been going on. It's really weird that they just labeled that surprise DC Comics panel. Like, yeah, I don't get that. I think this is a 30-minute. Is this a 30-minute panel? 2:45, 3 o'clock. That's 15. 25-minute panel. And so I don't know. Maybe we went live a little too early. It was anybody's guess on what they were gonna do here. We're gonna take this time, I guess, just to talk about DC Comics. On our channel, we do a lot of Marvel stuff. We haven't talked about DC enough. I think it's important to do that because, as a matter of fact, give me my camera here. Let's see. Let's see. Will this work? Can we do this? We haven't done it like this before. Check this out. No, it won't work. All right. All right. We'll stay here. Like I said, we haven't talked about DC enough, and maybe I'll give you some of my favorites. And let's just talk about DC a little bit. By far, my first exposure to DC Comics was with Batman, um, specifically the Michael Keaton movie was kind of my first experience. Excuse me, my first experience with Batman. Uh, and I remember vividly. It's so funny because the movie struck me so much because um, it was the first movie I had ever seen in theaters, and being that Batman, you know, lost, or basically Batman was created after leaving a theater or after leaving a movie. It just left an impression in my mind. And so seeing Bruce and Martha and I almost said Damien. That almost said Pa Kent. Don't kill me in the comments on that. But Bruce and his parents walking out of that theater, I was just like, man, does this happen? Like, what goes on at movie theaters? And so that really brought me into the world of Batman. Um, so Michael Keaton for me will always be Batman. I love. We can go into the whole debate of who is the greatest Batman. Um, but I don't want to start there. That's just my entry point into DC. I remember running around. I had like this terrible, terrible costume where it was like this cloth that was really sweaty around your nose, like right here, and then these little flappy ears. It was bad, and it was just like the cape. I remember running around with that thing forever. But yeah, that was my introduction into DC. From there, um, the next thing obviously was the animated series. Batman the animated series is really how I see all of the characters. Even though the movie was influential, um, I'm telling you, the animated series is where I get a lot of my knowledge from, even more than the comics. And so that really, really set it off for me. In that, I've always felt like DC has almost better villains than anything. And my favorite two episodes, it's kind of three because one is a two-parter, but uh, the Clayface um, two-parter is just phenomenal. It's just theatrical and dark and just seeing an actor go through what he does, and then the way Clayface looks. I know sometimes he's a slim guy, but I just like that he was this big hunk of clay. That was the best two-parter for me. And then my favorite, absolute favorite episode, if I had to pick between the two, is Almost Got Him. And Almost Got Him is just a great episode where all the villains are sitting around a table, all the main ones, Two-Face, Killer Croc, Poison Ivy, Penguin, Joker. I don't think Bane's not in that one, but they're sitting around and they're telling this story of how they almost got Batman. And I won't spoil it for you. Go watch that episode. But specifically, the Killer Croc part of the story is just phenomenal. It's really great. It's really great. So, selectors, what we're going to do is just take a quick 5-minute BRB, and we will get back into this in just a second. Here's some music for you. Shout out to Stream Beats. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, selectors, we're back. We're back. We're back. So I was saying, kind of how I got into DC. Some of my favorite episodes from the show. And then like again, the cartoons, especially in the '90s, were so just influential, and that's where that kind of led me into a lot of the Marvel stuff. Spider-Man, the X-Men cartoons. I didn't know the difference between DC and Marvel at the time. I just knew I liked Batman, I liked Spider-Man, and I liked the X-Men, and then just kind of fell in love with those characters from there. Um, didn't watch Justice League, didn't watch Teen Titans, anything like that. But then again, the movies came back. So Batman Returns uh, is still probably my favorite Batman movie. I love Batman Returns. I thought that was just a great. The first movie set a good bar. The second movie went to another level for me. And again, that's kind of how I hung in there with DC. Eventually learning uh, about Superman. Very limited knowledge about Wonder Woman. Um, I knew that they were there, but didn't know backstories or anything like that. Um, but then really went on my Marvel bias, honestly, if I'm being honest. Um, what happens after that is kind of weird. With this Marvel bias, I really didn't like. I didn't like overpowered characters. Whereas Spider-Man was an underdog, Batman was an underdog. In the sense that they didn't have any crazy, crazy fanatical powers like a Superman or a Wonder Woman. That made me kind of have a disdain for Superman. I just didn't like that he was so, so overpowered. Now, at this time, my dad noticed a lot of this stuff, and we started watching the Adam West TV show, as well as obviously reruns, and Green Hornet. So very fond memories of watching those, uh, which was cool. You know, um, the Adam West Batman for me, as a kid, I didn't realize that it was campy or whatever. It was just like, this is just another Batman. And seeing Robin at that time was interesting to me because Robin was so much different than he was in the cartoon. So I wanted to know all the time, what's Robin going to do this time? Of course, he had his little bell boots on or whatever he had on, and all the characters look so different. So it was just interesting seeing the Adam West stuff. Um, so let's see. Let's fast forward to Superman. Again, I'm just not feeling Superman. I just feel like the dude is too overpowered. Um, he's not his weaknesses, and I didn't love his villains. Yeah, it just wasn't a Superman guy. And then Smallville came out. And Smallville addressed all of my issues with Superman. The instead of Superman just not being vulnerable, here is this kid who has superpowers. A freshman in high school. And how does he deal with gaining these superpowers? And so Smallville really just changed the perspective of Superman for me. Um, Around that time too, Superman. I don't know if it was exactly around that time, but Superman Returns came out. I had watched all of the original um, Christopher Reeves movies, and it felt like, hey, that was cool. Superman movies, okay, we're back with Superman. But they just weren't Smallville. To me, Lex Luthor in Smallville, that is the greatest depiction, even over the cartoons, over the Justice League stuff. I just love the way he was portrayed there. It was so well done. So Smallville's killing it. Superman Returns comes out, and I'm thinking Superman Returns is going to give me a bunch of action. It's going to be all, it's going to be not a sequel to Smallville, but it's just going to run, it's going to run alongside. They're going to improve Superman, even though, it was technically the old Superman. And it just wasn't for me. I just, thematically, it was all over the place for me. And more than anything, it always cut on action. I always go to the point where Superman is about to get shot in the eye. We all know he's bulletproof. It's a bullet, and it's this cool VFX, and it's coming closer and closer to his eye, and it starts hitting his eye, and we never see what happens. And so it was things like that I was just like, man, this is not what I want. So that's where my expectations were. Again, they had dropped because here we have silly Superman again. Now, what was neat about that was my thought process and my expectations were down here for this new reinvention of Batman. Yes, I'm talking about the Christopher Nolan Batman Begins. And I again, everything I saw with Batman Begins, if I'm being honest, I was like, this is not Michael Keaton. Why are we going way back in time? This movie's going to be terrible. And I went into the theater, watched the movie, and I came out of Batman Begins going, okay, that was a good movie. It was fine. It was fine. I didn't care for a lot of, and this is initial reactions. I didn't care for the over the top extreme off rails camera. That was really hard for me because I was getting motion sickness, and I was like, why? But there was so much more action than what I had seen in Superman. And I just feel like with superheroes, and I want to say this not just about DC. If you go back and you watch the original Iron Man movie, there's not a lot of action in that movie. There's a lot of Iron Man says a funny quip. He brings out some kind of new tech, and he dispatches the enemies. Until maybe later on in the movie, but so I just needed that fix. And so when Batman did that, even though it was like super tight angles, everything was, you couldn't really see what was going on. It was the basis of this is all about fear. I just thought that was pretty creative. So that's good. That's great. I want to say, let's go to Green Lantern again. Again, my bars come back up. We might be going. Is that the end of that one? They into that already? Maybe we'll pick up with Green Lantern later. Doom Patrol. Let's see. Let's check in and see where they're at here on the stream.
For Vic, when it comes to mental health and mental illness,
Yeah, Cyborg.
The facade in which a lot of us have just as human beings, and this facade that we put
He's
on,
English?
kind of, letting everyone believe that we are okay. And I kind of see that as the superhero. I see that as Cyborg. I see that as the cover up that we will have as humans. Period.
No. This is
behind what we really are.
Doom Patrol.
Season 2 is testament to when Vic goes out to try and work on himself and essentially tackle this PTSD and this mental health. He has to,
I haven't really watched Doom Patrol. So going back to Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds. I was excited for it again. It's just like, crap. Green Lantern, you know, just the whole started the poop monster phenomenon for me. You know, where this giant smoke monster or whatever monster. It was just, if you can create anything with a magical ring, why would you create airplanes? You know, have a bigger imagination than that. Oh man. Dark Knight comes out, and again my expectations are here. Even though Batman Begins was okay, and Dark Knight just blew my socks off. Absolutely blew my socks off. Saw that, I think, at midnight. Started at midnight. My wife was in finals, and it was just a fun night. It was just a fun night, regardless. And then, again, expectations were here, and for me, Dark Knight Rises just didn't do it. I didn't like the portrayal of Bane as much as most people did. But that was kind of my journey into DC. Of course, that leads us up to, you know, all of the newer stuff. You guys can see our reactions and stuff on that. I guess just in my brain canon, if I had to go through a bunch of them, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I felt like Man of Steel did the exact opposite of Superman Returns, which I didn't understand. You know, a lot of people being upset with the collateral damage there. But that was me. I liked Man of Steel a lot. I actually really enjoyed probably 75% of Suicide Squad. I liked Margot Robbie. I liked Will Smith's Deadshot. All of it. It was great until that final act for me is where things really got weird. Lego Batman, speaking of which, love Lego Batman. Love it. I probably watch that once a month. Keep showing Injustice, and I'm like, show us something from Injustice, please. There's nothing on the docket from NetherRealm that I've seen. Did I skip those Batman movies? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Absolutely did. Why is that in Spanish all of a sudden? What else? Suicide Squad. Despised Batman versus Superman. Did not like that movie at all. Pretty much nothing in that movie. I mean, Ben Affleck was great, and that's about it. This is Batman Behind the Cowl. We do want to watch this one. Let's watch this panel. Kevin Conroy, Will Arnett. Let's watch this one. Sound good? Sound good.
Batman! Whoa!
You're darn right, whoa. Well, I still get chills every time I say that. But you see, here's the thing. Batman doesn't just speak English.
Soy Batman. Je suis Batman.
Ich bin Batman.
Batman.
Batman speaks dozens and dozens and dozens of other languages thanks to voice actors from all over the world.
That's great.
Have been dubbing Batman's voice ever since he first appeared on screen.
Tu n'es pas la seule à savoir tendre des pièges, ô Vénus.
Lo siento, mi oído de murciélago debe de estar fallándome.
That means in their countries, they are Batman.
Don't kill me, man!
Je ne vais pas te tuer. Tu vas me rendre un service. Fais ma publicité auprès de tes amis.
What are you?
Je suis Batman.
So let's meet some of these amazing actors from all over the world who, with their deep, dark voices, have been striking fear in the hearts of bad guys everywhere.
So the first time I was voice acting was at the age of 9 years
Wow.
old. It was the 3rd grade in school.
Someone suggested me that you have got a good language command, you have got a decent voice, so why don't you try voice acting? So I said, okay, let me give it a shot.
Você pensava palco, com luz, com plateia, então aquilo ali era completamente o inverso do que eu estava pensando, assim. Mas eu fui parar na dublagem 4 anos depois.
Portuguese is such
El aspecto
a
más
beautiful
retador
language.
del doblaje para
Love
mí
that.
es hacerle creer al espectador que los personajes, los actores están hablando en español.
Every language has a tonality, a different way of taking pauses, speaking, speed. So there are a lot of things that come into the picture.
You have to concentrate all the emotions, all the things that happens while doing the scene.
As a voice actor, I didn't have to transform my body, but I have to find what is the best to serve what's on the screen.
Di quell'attore straniero, se tu
I would love to
fai
do this
appena
as
meno di quello che fa lui,
a
non
job.
si incolla, non ci sta.
Et puis, je trouve que ce qui est difficile, c'est le rythme, c'est vraiment réussir à garder un naturel en se calquant sur le rythme d'un autre.
Poder interpretar o reinterpretar, que es lo que hacemos
Really
en
wish we
doblaje,
got
todos estos personajes icónicos que
some,
existen
something
en
on
nuestras
Injustice
vidas.
here.
Tanto de
That would have been great.
caricaturas, de series, de televisión, comedia, y tienes movimiento muy ágil porque de repente
The Snyder Cut coming up
hacer
next.
un doblaje de un personaje, de un superhéroe, como en el caso de Batman.
Batman é um personagem universal, né? Se você botar aquele símbolo do Batman em qualquer lugar do mundo, do universo, todo mundo vai saber o que é, né?
What appeals to me and a lot of Batman fans over the world is that the fact that Batman has a very dark side.
Batman is much deeper, he's darker, it stays a mystery all the time.
Who is this guy?
I don't know. I always loved this rich guy who put his fortune for the justice. I always loved that.
Utilizar todo eso a favor de la justicia. Eso me parecía el personaje con el que yo más identificado me sentía.
Il mio rapporto con Batman in gioventù è stata una cosa fantastica perché io vivevo con Batman, aspettavo che arrivasse in edicola per andare a prenderlo e a leggerlo.
Para mí como niño explotó en la cabeza al ver en la televisión al señor que yo estaba leyendo acá, era algo mágico, fantástico.
C'est vrai que, bon, bah voilà, c'est pas tous les jours qu'on
This is really cool.
doubler un personnage de ce type-là.
They asked me, "Are you free next week? We have a new George Clooney film coming up." And I said, "Yeah, sure." And it said, "Oh, by the way, it's Batman." I said, "Wow, great."
Whatever you do, wherever you go, I'll be watching you.
I'm insane.
मैंने तुम्हें गौतम के आरखम पागल खाने में भेजने का इंतजाम किया है। वहां भी मेरे कुछ दोस्त हैं जिन्हें तुम्हारा इंतजार है। I started doing individual characters, and one fine day, finally in around 2005, I got something for which I'm being interviewed by you today. And I tasted a real flavor of fame after the release of the magnum opus named Batman. That was when I became a very big fan of Batman, and he teaches me a lot, I get to learn so many things. The best part, our voice acting, if I'm doing for such a big project and big actor, such a huge personality, I have to just be closer to him, as close as possible. The subtlety and organic performance which they give in Hollywood, you have to be exactly the same note. You don't have to be more melodramatic. And once you see the scene, you just have to copy him. And if you are successful in that, it's done. When the guy played my recording, I had a goosebumps. It was unbelievable. I said, is it my voice? And I was happy. I was convinced that I've done a good job.
Bruce Wayne es un playboy millonario, debe ser la voz de alguien que, por ejemplo, si una señorita se lo encuentra en una fiesta, se sienta seducida por él.
Bruce Wayne wear a bigger mask for me than the Batman.
So good, bro.
This voice, like this animal voice, is the real character for me. So I found it more difficult to adapt the Bruce Wayne than Batman.
Salve, Bruce Wayne, miliardario, giramondo, viveur, playboy, scapolo d'oro di Gotham per tipo 90 anni di fila.
I know who you are, Mr. Wayne.
Non ne dubito.
He has to adapt to the society. He has to adapt to the people surrounding him. Batman can act absolutely alone.
É tipo assim, Eu sou Bruce Wayne. Eu sou Batman.
Il pubblico è molto attratto dalla voce di Batman, soprattutto qui in Italia. Mi lascia col fiato sospeso.
A lot of people like his
Batman's
voice, huh?
is as much is as important as his physicality, if not more, actually, because
You gotta talk about Christian Bale,
you
though,
don't
right?
get the humor by
I'm not
watching
wearing
just the
hockey
costume.
pads.
Batman is a mystery, and like I said, he is God. He's a human, and he's also a angel.
Joe Jill. तुम वही कायर हो जिसने मार्था और थॉमस वेन का खून किया था.
That was a lifetime ago.
Couldn't think of Thomas's name for anything. Thomas, Martha,
मेरी उम्र.
and Bruce.
तुमने कुछ नहीं सोचा, बस बेरहमी से उन्हें मार डाला, जिल.
How do you know this? How could you possibly?
मैं जानता हूँ क्योंकि मैंने ये सब होते देखा. मैं ये जानता हूँ क्योंकि मैं उस आदमी का बेटा हूँ जिसे तुमने मार डाला. मैं हूँ ब्रूस वेन.
Lo más desafiante cuando doblé el Batman de Christian Bale
Ah, here we
eran
go.
las escenas donde él gritaba y se enojaba mucho.
The way Christopher Nolan wrote his movies, design a Batman much more real and much more complex, and he show all the complexity of the character.
The character of Christian Bale was struggling to become this guy, and this guy in the movie.
Ele é um bom ator, um excelente ator, né? Ele se dedica muito aos personagens que ele faz. Eu acho que é isso que marca, né? Acho que é o estilo único que é dele, né? E eu também sempre busquei o meu estilo na dublagem, né?
Un icono, ¿cómo habla? No habla como un ser humano. Entonces, la voz que creo y la voz que han aplicado los demás Batman, aparte de trabajarla yo desde el pecho y desde la garganta.
Keaton le dio una cualidad a la voz que fue, pero esta cosa de hacerlo diferente, ¿no? Para que no le reconocieran la voz ni siquiera a Bruce Wayne. Y el Batman de Affleck, lo que sucede es que
It's a technological thing.
tiene una
Yeah,
cosa
yeah.
tecnológica, es un aparato que le cambia la voz para que no lo reconozcan. Entonces, lo que hice con eso fue bajar mi voz a todos los graves, mis más graves posibles.
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Mimi. Marahum beda.
That movie just should have been so much better.
The way he speaks and the way he interacts with other characters, he's always like so cool and so never gets nervous, or at least it seems.
Batman!
Yeah.
Why did you build this thing with only one seat?
Porque que yo sepa solo tengo un culo.
¿Pero qué? What have you done to Wayne Manor?
Ese sería fan de los cómics, que yo con mis primeros sueldos de actor de doblaje, lo primero que hacía antes de llegar a casa era parar en un kiosco o en una tienda y comprar un cómic de Batman.
That's
Para mí fue como,
cool.
era el héroe de mi infancia, ¿no? Hay una cosa con la que yo conecté con Bruce Wayne, con Batman, que era su deseo de justicia. Es inherente al ser humano el deseo de justicia, ¿no? De luchar a favor del oprimido o de impartir justicia y de que las cosas se hagan bien, ¿no? De que los malos no se salgan
What's the
siempre.
best Batman logo?
Nosotros en el doblaje, para cada uno de los Batman, de Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, Will Arnett, todos los demás, lo que hacemos es meternos en el original. Ben Affleck es otra forma de hacer Batman, es un enorme
Batman logo.
que transmite otro tipo de sensaciones diferentes a la que transmite Christian Bale, que hizo una creación, desde luego, icónica.
I've always
para el
liked
mundo del
the
cine.
yellow and black.
Entonces,
I know it doesn't make sense, but
el modo de diferenciarlo es ser muy fiel al actor original, pero recuerdo ir al cine temblando como un niño. Fui yo solo, era como, necesito vivirlo, necesito meterme en la película, necesito supervisar cada detalle, pero yo soy muy perfeccionista.
Doppiare per un videogioco
Ah,
o
here we
doppiare
go.
un attore o comunque un cartone animato è molto diverso.
Le jeu vidéo, il y a beaucoup plus de travail à fournir, beaucoup plus
Lavoriamo sulla forma d'onda, per cui a quel punto ci dobbiamo assolutamente fidare della voce originale, in questo caso americana, e riprodurre esattamente quello che l'attore americano ha.
When I heard the voice of Kevin Conroy, it's the moment when you are in the studio and the first time you hear the voice, you see the character, something happens inside your body.
Yeah.
Superman ist hinter Gittern. Letztendlich führen ihn seine guten Absichten auf einen Pfad der Tyrannei und des Bösen. Und so wurde unser größter Held plötzlich unsere größte Bedrohung.
Ça demande beaucoup d'énergie le jeu vidéo parce que c'est très très longue journée. On est tout seul dans une petite cabine avec nos casques. On entend sa propre voix toute la journée.
You don't have the nuances that you have in a living character because the animation is always very kind of straight. There is no hesitation. It's jumping much more in your face. It's much more fun to do animations because you go to the extreme.
That's really interesting. I never thought about that.
Do you want to talk about how you're feeling right now?
J'ai rien à dire sur les émotions, Alfred. Je n'en ai pas et je n'en ai jamais eu de ma vie.
Hero de la noche che lucha contra il crimen y una máquina de rapear heavy metal.
Io non provo nessuna emozione a parte la rabbia. H24, 12 mesi all'anno, a 1.000.000%.
And if you think that there's something behind that, then you're crazy. Good night, Alfred.
Sir, it's morning.
The Lego movie was one of the funniest experience of all my career. I never had so much fun in my life.
The screenplay and Will Arnett's talent brought back the humor that was present in the original TV series. That sort of tongue-in-cheek humor, lots of puns, lots of jokes.
This is really uncomfortable.
Sorry, my shoes are part of my pants.
La experiencia de doblar al Batman de Nolan, al Batman de Gran Aventura Lego 1 y 2, es muy diferente, pero la verdad la 1 y 2 es muy divertida. Entonces es como jugarlo más, tienes que sentirte un poco más libre, ¿no? De hacer tú también tu creación, sobre todo para el humor latino.
Primero, el trabajo que hizo Will Arnett es espectacular. Hacer siempre un Batman serio y poder hacer a un Batman que se ríe de Batman, que se ríe de sus miedos, de sus
I love that about
inseguridades,
Lego
que
Batman.
se
You know,
vuelve
just
hasta un poco
being able to laugh at
patoso,
Batman a little bit.
que no sabe cómo relacionarse con los demás.
Who are you here to see?
I'm here to see your butt.
Is that last name Bud, first name yours? Oh my gosh!
Y los Lego Batman fue como, vamos a reírnos, vamos a divertirnos. Fue eso, poder reírte hasta de ti mismo, ¿no? Fue liberador.
Aver contribuito alla Batman Legacy mi riempie di gioia e mi riempie di orgoglio.
Il y a quelque chose de l'enfance là-dedans, quoi. De dire, je suis pris pour faire Batman.
Batman was like going full circle from my childhood to my adult life.
Lo debo decir como lo siento y es un gran orgullo.
We ought to do a
Es
video
una de las
on
cosas
the
más,
best
más
Batman
bonitas que me han
logo
ocurrido a nivel profesional.
and the best
Batman
Batmobile.
will be always close to my heart because Batman is one of the best character in my life. I'm a bit emotional now.
Guys, it is time. We're about to get a Snyder Cut Justice League panel.
DC FANDOME
Woo!
el día de hoy. Yo creo que vamos a estar muy emocionados.
I'm excited.
Todos viendo a mis compañeros actores, viendo a todos.
What Warner Brothers is doing now, like getting us into the limelight, where people come to know this is the voice of Batman from India, from different countries. This is the appreciation coming back to us. So I feel great.
Uma coisa que marca, você não deixa de ter dublado o personagem, né? As pessoas vão sempre lembrar de você como o Batman.
As an actor, I'm so grateful to have been in this adventure.
That was fun.
All right, Fandome.
I'm Batman. Hey, that
wasn't bad. With the late audio mixing and some luck, maybe they'll cast me as the Italian Robert Pattinson in the next film. What do you think? Coming up, we have another WB Games debut, and we are talking to Matt Reeves, director of The Batman.
Here we go. So what do we think of that panel? That panel was cool. It was just neat to see the other side of Batman, you know? Kind of made it a little deeper. Very, very cool. I'm excited, man, for this next one. I want to know more about the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Justice League, let's get there very quickly. We talked about getting to the Dark Knight Rises. Loved Wonder Woman. Really did. I liked Aquaman. Shazam was okay for me. I think I gave that a C. But Justice League, the bar was here, and it fell again. Can it recover? We're about to find out.
You guys, I mean, the best are the best. I love everything and incredible stuff. I can't wait to see more from these super talented fans.
Well, me too, Aline. Now, speaking of DC's fans, since 2017, you have been demanding the release of Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, of course. Your friends at HBO Max heard you and look for it in 2021.
I know, but I know. That probably feels like a long way off. So, right now, we're gonna check out this very exciting panel featuring Zack Snyder and some special guests, as well as some of the fans who helped bring this DC dream come to life.
Let's go.
Ready? Ready. Okay, let's go. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. It's awesome to be here at DC FANDOME. This is amazing. It's been quite a journey with the DC fans, and I've had a great time bringing some of these beloved DC titles to the big screen. And the Justice League really is, for me, and in this format, an amazing crown jewel. As a community, you were able to make this thing happen, and we really appreciate it. We're going to shake it up a little bit for this panel, and I'm going to have some fans ask me questions. I'm going to ask some people questions. We're going to have special guests, so let's get to it. We have some questions from fans.
Here we go.
Read to us by some of the amazing cast of Justice League. Looks like next we have Batman, my Batman. Go ahead, man. What do you got?
I hope you guys are enjoying DC FANDOME. And I'm really excited for you to get a chance to see Zach's ultimate version of Justice League on HBO Max next year.
Well, thank you, Ben. I'm excited for everyone to see the film as well. It's cool. What question do you have?
Patrick Mendoza wants to know, who is your favorite superhero of all time?
Wow.
You know the answer to that.
I guess my favorite hero of all time, other than Batman, would have to be, sort of staying in the DC world as I do, it's got to be Dr. Manhattan, from Watchmen, I think. I don't know, for me, he's like this super cool quantum superhero whose time, space, reality, all those things are at his fingertips. So, yeah, it's got to be Dr. Manhattan. That was awesome, Ben. Thank you so much. That was cool, and appreciate you stopping by. I think next, is it Superman?
Hello, everybody. My name is Henry Cavill, and I promise you that I am not in prison. This is just my place of work. I hope you're enjoying DC Fandome, and I have a fan question for Zack Snyder from Swapnil. As a storyteller, what is the dynamic between the Justice League that is important for you to present on the screen? Zack, over to you.
It's a great question, and thank you so much. I think the important thing for me to see as the Justice League comes together is this idea that like a lot of them basically are loners, right? You have Batman, lives in a cave. His only buddy is Alfred, really. You got Wonder Woman, who after Steve's demise, she's been kind of keeping quiet. You have Flash, who's got these powers, but he's kind of alone in the world. And you have Cyborg, who, you know, in a lot of ways is not really happy about what's happened to him, this transformation. He's coming to terms with it. And then you have Aquaman, who also is this loner. And sort of thematically, them coming together and forming a family and finding in each other support. I think that's really what, in the end, drove me to want to see this happen or see them come together. And I think that when you take all these different personalities and bring them together into a single cohesive group, is a fun and awesome dynamic, but also there's a why of doing it. All right, let's see, who do we have next? Is it Cyborg?
Hey, Zach, what up, man? Ray Fisher here. You know I am super excited about the Snyder Cut getting dropped on HBO Max. And there's some folks who have a couple questions for you. The first question is coming from Eddie Gordon from the United States. And that question is, which character are you most excited to fully flesh out in your cut of Justice League?
Interesting that you should ask me that, because of course it's Cyborg. Cyborg is the heart of the movie. Cyborg is the thing that I think in the end holds the team together in a lot of ways. And excited to see, or for fans to see, just how that is realized on camera.
That's
interesting.
interesting.
The second question is coming in from Irfan Kam from the United Kingdom. And their question is, when you started writing Justice League, what thematic ideas were you most excited to tackle? Additionally, how much of a challenge was it to keep the tone mythological? I want to know too, so make sure you get up on those.
It's a great question. When Chris and I were talking about this movie, I think we're big fans of sort of the Joseph Campbellian, you know, hero's journey, and also this notion that we would be creating a team. They're Knights of the Round Table joining together in an epic adventure, and this is the call to action film that brings them as a story that brings them all together. And I think it is a mythological concept to begin with. So keeping it mythological, and especially when you think about it's Aquaman, it's Wonder Woman, Flash, Cyborg, and then Superman, you're really talking about a mythological group, you know? Okay, this is fun. Let's keep them coming. Who else? I think next is the Flash himself.
Mr. Maestro Zack Snyder, I mean, what other questions can we ask? I think we'd all like to know if we'll see more of the handsome and talented Ezra Miller in your cut.
I like the question, Ezra. No agenda at all. Very good. Of course, you're going to see tons more of the Flash. I have a huge love for the Flash and for Ezra Miller, as you know, especially when you call me at the last second and make me come work on your music videos in the desert. That's really kind of you. So, but yes, of course, Ezra. I think people are going to see a lot more of the Flash, and they're going to get to see a little bit more of his emotional arc. And I hope they enjoy it, because I enjoy seeing you, especially in this format. Okay, looks like we've got, we've got something from Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot.
Zach, when you cast me in the role of Wonder Woman, I had no idea what an amazing ride I was in for. It's been life-changing to play this character, mostly because I've got to meet so many incredible fans around the world who love her like we do. Fans who I hope are all sharing this experience today, because it's all happening because of you. So to all the fans who asked for this cut, you obviously have your own superpowers, because just like the members of Justice League, you are stronger together, and you made this possible. So thank you. I love you.
Thanks, Gal. I can't wait for fans to see you in Wonder Woman 84, which is an amazing movie, and you are amazing in it. And Patty, of course, did an amazing job. So you guys are an awesome team, and people's minds are going to be blown when they see that. So thanks again. That was great. All right, let's see who do we
Feel
have
like he's
next.
already seen it.
Hi, Zach, and everybody in the
Speaking of
Justice
Patty.
League crew. I have a question. So, as somebody who is so very excited to get to see your vision of Justice League and that you're finally getting this chance to really show us the film that was always intended and one that we're all so super excited to see, I wanted to know, probably what everybody wants to know is, can you hint something that the world has never seen, that you have been so excited to let us all get a glimpse at without too many spoilers?
Okay. How do I do this without giving too many spoilers? You're going to see something with Flash in this film I don't think that you've ever seen before. Something that has to do with his abilities, because he's a quantum character. He interacts with time and space, so you might see him do something that is timely. But awesome, Patty. Awesome question, and it's awesome to see you. All right, let's move along, shall we? And I think I want to ask some questions. So let's get some people on the line if we can. I'd like to get, there's some super fans we have standing by, I see. One of them is Fiona from China. She is dear to our hearts. She was one of the founding members of the Snyder Cut movement and really instrumental in bringing it to all of us. So let's get her on the line and say hi to her.
Oh my God, Zach and his studio. It's like a dream come true.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
First off was, what about this movement and the Snyder Cut and the whole thing? What was the thing that got you to say, like, hey, you know what? I got to, get involved with this.
After I saw Batman with Superman in theaters 4 years ago in China, I was blown away. After watching Justice League, it was immediately clear that many parts of the film were not consistent with your usual filmmaking style. So we are the fans. We knew that there was a real version of the film out there. We started asking for it. Why not? We're starting a petition, if you remember, that reached to 180K people signed. Then I think it's not enough.
Crazy.
So I created a website called forsnydercut.com that allowed us to start doing some online and real-world events, such as Twitter trends, raising money for AFSP, letter writing, and phone calls to Warner Brothers. Now, here we are.
Awesome. Wow. And look what happened. You guys did it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
So did you really think it was going to happen, though, when we really started to, when it got closer?
It all started with hope and dream. So many movements, I think, never go beyond that. To actually achieve a dream, you need organization and selflessness. Then we have a team who put a billboard in Times Square.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think you remember that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
When you see all these people, when you fight alongside such talented and generous people, you know it's not possible. It's a certainty.
Yeah.
Even we had many obstacles, but we know we will win this.
Yeah, it's fun. I always thought it was funny that the scale started to get bigger and bigger, and we would notice oh my gosh. And at first, remember, because it was like a bus stop in Comic-Con and then a billboard in Times Square, and then on the anniversary of Justice League, and it just goes completely nuts, and everyone was like, okay.
It's like a snowball, rolling with a big snowball.
Yeah, a giant snowball now, yeah. What was your favorite moment for you in the whole experience?
I think my answer to this question evolved. I started out because I admire you. I love you. I want to fight for you and your works. But as time passed, I became just much about fighting alongside my fellow community members. It's power from art, mostly. Power from your art. You empowered us.
Well, that's amazing and kind. And well, it's amazing to see you. And thank you so much for connecting with us.
That's
I
really
can't wait
cool.
to come to China.
Man.
Please come to China. I want to be your guide. So see you.
Yep. See you soon. Thank you, Fiona.
Yeah.
Okay. We have another call from Dexter, another amazing friend and another amazing fan who also was super important in the creation and cultivation of this movement. He's been around for a long time and really making this happen. So let's talk to Dexter. Dexter.
Hi. How are you, my friend?
Awesome. I'm glad you came. It's great to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you as well.
So I got you on the spot because I want to ask you a couple questions. So I guess the first question is, what are your initial thoughts and where were you when you first heard about the Snyder Cut movement, or how did it come on your radar?
Yeah, well, it was very early on. I'll tell you, right after the viewing of the theatrical edition, I went to the internet and I felt that I couldn't be the only one that felt a certain way. So after maybe a few weekends, I had a few chats with a few people, and it kind of fell into my lap, and I said, this is something that I can really get behind. And I did what I could in order to try to help. And here I am, multiple years later, still trying to be a forefront of this whole thing to help you guys out. And thankfully, it's been a positive turn of events.
Yeah, like how crazy is it that, like I was saying the other day, I shot the movie in 2016. Like that's when I was on set shooting.
Jeez.
And here we are in 2021, and well, coming up to, and that's when the movie's going to come out, and seems impossible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So to that, when you started in this movement, did you think there was a chance that they would do this?
That's a really great question. Early on, I had high hopes about it. And I think it was just because of my ignorance on how the industry worked. Toward, a quarter into it, I kind of said, well, we're not really speaking their language. How can we get them to want to do this for us? I think that's the key, and what made it really happen is just the fact that they saw that there were so many people that really wanted to stand behind the artistry of it all, the artists, and the integrity of it. And here we are.
I always felt like when I was sort of observing this movement, in a lot of ways, for fans, the way the comic book calendar is set up, it'd be like, oh, the anniversary of the release, or a Comic-Con, or Brazil Comic-Con, or New York Comic-Con, and you guys just always kind of using those events as like a springboard, because you're like, look, we got something to say. So it always felt like.
Yeah, it was tough coming up with those things at times. It really was. We would chat a lot of behind the scenes Zoom calls and phone calls and WhatsApp messages, really trying to come up with what can we do next? What we're thinking about our next event. And then when you were to kind of give us a little hint or a little something to play along with,
Sure.
And it just really, really ignited us to continue on. So thank you for that.
Yeah, that for me was amazing. It was cool to have this kind of conversation with the fans where I could either, release an image or just say something and just get this response that I could feel, this kind of energy exchange that was really, really, really exciting. Do you have a favorite moment from this experience?
I think my favorite moment so far is getting the opportunity to fly out to your event at Pasadena. The Director's Cut weekend was such a memorable event for me and my sons, and something I will always cherish with me. And one of the other things I was just really, really excited to see, and this is just me, and I don't want to make things heavy, but just the opportunity to see the smile on yours and Debbie's face when it was official. It was just really heartwarming to me. And honestly, I did tear up a little bit. I will admit, I teared up a little bit, but it's just because it was just a lot of work that paid off. And I'm just excited to see that you guys were really, really happy.
Well, I got to admit that we also, when we heard the news, we all got pretty emotional, and it's been an incredible journey. And for us, one of the amazing parts is that we were able to, interact with and be part of this fan community in an amazing way. And it's changed us and made us, really grateful for being able to have this dialogue and also, frankly, feeling the incredible support for the work that I get to experience, when we see these fan-generated events and things that really have nothing to do with selling a movie or doing anything that has to do with commerce. It's really for love, and we feel it. And also the amazing charitable work that you guys, the amount of money you've raised for suicide prevention is just unbelievable. So again, thank you so much. We couldn't thank you enough. So Dexter, thanks.
Thank you so much. It's been our pleasure. We appreciate it.
Wow.
It's cool to interact with the fans and get to talk about this this journey that we've been on, because it has been something quite amazing. Maybe I should talk for a second about how you guys are going to see the movie and what format we're going to have it in. It's going to be in 4 parts, 1 hour each. So 4 hours of Justice League is coming your way. We're going to work on a way of bundling it together at the end so you can watch it as a single film if that's the way you want to experience it. Also, to all my international fans and everyone watching all over the world, don't worry if you don't have HBO Max, because we're working on a distribution plan. So I promise you're going to get a chance to see it. And if you guys haven't gotten your t-shirt yet, there's still hope. If you go to Ink to the People, you can get your associate producer shirt. And I want you guys, it all goes to a good cause. So please go grab a shirt if you can. I guess it's time to play the little teaser, because that's why you're really
There
here
we go.
to see some footage from the movie, as I promised. So why don't we check that out? So here it is, Justice League.
Now I've heard
Jeez.
there was a secret chord that David played, and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the 4th, the 5th, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah.
Wow, man. This is never before seen stuff.
I did my best.
Oh.
Wasn't much. I couldn't feel, so I tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool you. And even though it
Steppenwolf looks dope.
all stand before the Lord of song with nothing on my tongue but hallelujah.
Whoa. Oh, dude, this looks great. Wow. Wow, that looks
This guy's
way
probably fought hundreds of thousands of other super beings on the other planets he's destroyed, right? And we have to assume he's won.
I don't care how many demons he's fought and how many hells. He's never fought us. Not us united.
Zack Snyder, man. Zack Snyder.
Amazing.
Yo, that looks way better.
DC fandom.
That looks way better. I didn't know how much better you can get from that movie. Wow. Wow, there's some moments in there. That kind of gave me chills, man. I didn't like the music choice, but other than that, that was pretty dope. Good panel. Good panel. I'm going to go, I think that was the best. That's probably the best footage we've got yet. That's saying a lot because Suicide Squad was cool. Wonder Woman's was great. I'm going to go I'm gonna go A+ on that panel too. Good panel. Well done. Well done. Now we got the Flash TV panel coming up. And at 4. Wow, this panel's gonna be pretty short. 3:54. I'm gonna not watch this panel because I'm not completely caught up on the Flash and I don't want any spoilers. This panel is, guys, literally 15 minutes. So I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm going to leave the audio on. You guys watch this panel. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please don't spoil it for me. But I'm catching up on the Flash. I'm a season behind just because I stopped. Not any reason other than I liked Arrow. I like the Flash a little bit better, but with the recent events or the final events of Arrow, I was just like, this might be a good place to stop. But who knows? I might come back to it. I think of both Flashes, I like this Flash more. And so I don't want to spoil it for myself. Does that make sense? So I'll be back. This is a quick 15-minute break. And then I definitely want to see what's going to go on with Black Adam. Black Adam's event is 20 minutes. So that's pretty interesting. So we'll do Black Adam. Then we'll come back about 5 o'clock after that. Yeah. Well, these panels are kind of short. But yeah. Thank you guys. Oh man, I'm already seeing stuff I don't need to be seeing. So I'll give you the audio back. You guys enjoy this panel. I will BRB. Enjoy, my friends, my selectors.
The Flash. Welcome to DC Fandome. I'm Chancellor Agard from Entertainment Weekly, and this is the Flash panel. Joining me today, we have Grant Gustin, who plays the Scarlet Spitzer himself, the Flash, aka Barry Allen. Candace Patton, who plays reporter extraordinaire Iris West Allen. Daniel Panabaker, who pulls double duty as both Caitlin Snow and Frost. Carlos Valdez, who plays the ever-quotable mechanical engineer Cisco Ramon. Daniel Nicolay, who plays meta attorney Lucille Horton. Brandon McKnight, who plays enthusiastic scientist Chester P. Runk. And Kayla Compton, who plays Central City citizen intern Allegra Garcia. Also, we have showrunner and executive producer Eric Wallace. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Before we talk about season 7, I do want to go back through season 6, which I think was a really unique year for the show. Because Eric, you decided to split the season into 2 parts. Looking back on it now, how successful do you feel that was? How effective was that?
I thought it was really successful. In the first half with Bloodwork, we were able to really drill down on Barry's story and on dealing with crisis. In the back half, we're able to really drill into Iris's character and to Citizen and Eva's story. And then we'll see at the top of season 7 how it all comes together.
And for the cast, especially the ones who've been here since season 1, in the moment, could you feel something different about the show and how it was structured?
I loved it. I was a big fan of it. I'm really glad that we got to, it gives the opportunity to really flesh out those villains a little bit more and not spread them out so much that you feel like you're sort of filling in episodes to get to the end.
Yeah, I think a show needs to change in order to grow.
As an actor, too, it prevents fatigue throughout the season. 22 episodes is a long time, 9 months. And I think for us having this kind of break in the season where a new sort of storyline emerges kind of puts us in a headspace of, feeling reinvigorated with the work.
The first half of the season was very much about sort of Barry's walk up to crisis and him dealing with his mortality.
I don't know how you're doing this. Real or not, I'm coming for you.
Grant, for you, what was it like sort of dig into Barry in that way in the first half of the season, especially with episodes like The Last Temptation.
That was a really special episode to me. And I think it really was a good episode to show just kind of the culmination of all of his emotions and the conflict kind of boiling over. I just felt really lucky with all the material they gave me in The Last Temptation of Barry Allen.
And on the flip side, we dug a lot more into Iris as a journalist. For you, Candace, what was it like to sort of explore that side of Iris in more detail?
It was a long time coming. I think we've kind of teased Iris being this ace reporter since season 1. It's always kind of been put on the back burner. So it was a nice treat to finally have it be at the forefront of her character arc for the season. It's such a male-dominated cast. I love these guys, but having more women and having this kind of Charlie's Angels reporter team, it was really cool. It brought a new energy to the show, and I hope we carry on with that in the next season.
And on the subject of new things, I mean, this season we got 2 new characters with Chester and Kayla, and we have 2 now series regulars coming into season 7. How was your experience sort of coming into a show that's sort of 6 seasons in and sort of finding your way through it?
I was intimidated for sure. I knew these guys were a family and I was nervous. Danny was one of the first people that made me feel so welcome. Aww. We were shooting a scene and she just took me under her wing instantly. And I remember she was like, "Do you want to take a picture?" And I was like, "Do I want to take a picture with you?" Yes. And then I got the courage to like ask other people to take pictures because she had like made me feel so welcome instantly.
I was a big fan. I am a big fan of the show, and I watched the show. The Flash is my little sister's favorite superhero, so we've watched the show since season 1. So I came in already like understanding what the show was about, like what the show's tone was, stuff like that. For me, it was more so just meeting everybody and trying to find my spot and my place without interrupting or changing too much.
And Brandon, I know in the past, Eric has talked about how Chester, he views Chester, it's sort of like him, is enthusiasm about science and all that. I'm curious, 1, what conversations did you have with Eric about sort of crafting this performance as Chester? And 2, did you base any of it on Eric himself?
I remember the first day on set, I met Eric, and I remember him just telling me, this guy's brain works faster than his mouth. He can't speak as quickly as he thinks.
Hey, what up, party people? Welcome to a world where all are welcome and anything, including the scientifically impossible, can and probably will happen.
Kayla, with Allegra, I'm curious, coming into the show, I mean, how did you sort of connect with your character and in what ways did you relate to her?
The way I look at Allegra is that she just wants to fit in and belong somewhere. And I just super resonate with that. Family is really important to me. My friendships are really important to me. And belonging to something or having a community is just really important to me. So that was one of the first things that I like connected with Allegra. She just wants a family and she like wants to belong, and she hasn't had that previously. And so I super resonate with her on that level.
For you, I guess
you're in the Flash family now.
Yeah.
Danielle, I mean, this season 6 was all about sort of Frost finding herself or finding a way to craft a life for herself. For you, what was it like to explore that journey with this character?
It was great. It was really fun to get to explore Killer Frost as a real character and a person and a human being with feelings and emotions, and not just necessarily this person who, you know, pops up for a fight and then disappears and we don't really know her perspective on things. So it was really fun to get to dig in and flesh that out and have a little bit of fun with it. You know, like Candace was saying earlier, it's nice to have the variety after, you know, 6 seasons and we're rapidly approaching 150 episodes.
On the subject of change, this season for Cecile, she sort of decides to become a meta attorney for metahumans. For you, what has it been like to see this character evolve from when she was initially introduced to where she is now?
It's a blast for me because I got to be a regular person, then I got to be a telepath, and then I got to be an empath, and then now I am a meta defense attorney. And then from what I understand, there's going to be some shifts next season too.
Is there something that you're hoping to do that you haven't gotten a chance to do on the show yet?
I have always, this is not news to anybody, Eric will not be surprised, I have wanted Cecile to be bad, just a little bit bad, forever, so just a little bit, because she's so good. I would have a lot of fun playing like bad Cecile. Unfortunately, Eric does not believe me to be as good of a writer as I am an actor. So he continues to not buy my pitches.
but I listen. I am listening.
And Carlos, I mean, this season 5 ended with him giving up his powers, and this season was very much about him figuring out what his role on the team was without those powers. After 5 seasons of Cisco's vibe, what was it like for you to explore this new, this Cisco in a new place like this?
I don't think he regrets that decision, but I think it definitely haunts him. I'm actually feeling a lot like Cisco these days because, like, you know, I'll have a fan that I'll like see on the street or whatever. They'll be like, "Yo," but vibe though. Come on. You know, and I have to imagine Cisco's probably feeling very similarly. Like, I know.
The beginning of season 6 actually had an episode called Kiss Kiss Breach Breach, which is Cisco-centric. And included on the DVD set coming out in August is a black and white version of that episode. And we have a clip from that episode. So let's check it out.
You murdered my daughter!
No, I didn't do it! I swear!
Liar!
Believe me! Leave him alone!
Where did you get that?
In Cisco's workshop. I don't know how it got there.
I do. He just murdered my daughter with it.
Wow, right?
Pretty cool,
so exciting.
Very cool.
Carlos, an episode was so Cisco-centric about him dealing with Gypsy's death. What was it like leading the A-plot?
So gratifying to my budding narcissism.
On that note, we also have a sizzle reel for what's to come in season 7. When we last left off season 6, Eva McCulloch had gotten what she wanted, and she framed Sue. And the sizzle will sort of tease what's to come when the show returns. So let's check out that clip.
I've achieved my goal. This company is all mine. You lost your speed? You're not much of a threat, are you? You just stay out of my way, Flash.
Iris is my wife. I have to save her.
What are you? I am a product of your broken mind.
How much speed do you have left?
Enough for a few hours. I need your help to build an artificial speed force. That's how I can get my speed back.
I was an empath too, only I never held back. What did you do to me? Imagine what you'd become if you weren't so afraid. This time, no one is coming to save you. Not your friends, not your husband. There's only 2 options in this place. Survival or madness. Unreal.
You lied.
Yeah, I lied.
Oh, frack.
There's a supersonic jet about to crash over the city.
And the Flash isn't fast enough to stop it.
Eva can move anywhere, through any mirror in the universe, in the blink of an eye. She's faster than I am, and somehow I'm supposed to stop her?
I have unfinished business and a whole world to liberate.
We need a plan. We've all lost so much this year. Some things can't be taken. We still have our will to fight for those we love.
Keep watching. Keep trying to break me. Because I'm not afraid of the woman that I am today. But you are, Eva.
Team Flash needs as many hands on deck as possible. We're now, Flash.
We go save Iris and our friends.
Get everybody back.
Eric, can you talk about what we're seeing there?
When we had the shutdown happen, as unfortunate as it was, we were on the last day of filming for what would have been the 20th episode of last season, which now will become partially the first episode of season 7. So we did have 85% of the footage that we were able to use. Plus, also, we knew where we were going already in season 7. So even though it's only footage really from one episode, pay attention to the way it's presented. It's actually huge spoilers all over the place.
And that sizzle had a lot of Iris in it, a lot of Iris in the Mirrorverse. Candace, I mean, can you sort of, in your mind, I guess, how do you think her time in the Mirrorverse has sort of affected her?
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see when she comes out, and I believe she will come out very soon when we pick up season 7. It'll be very interesting to see how she's been affected by being kind of stuck in this maddening world with this super villain.
Preview showed that sort of Barry is sort of working as hard as he can to get his powers back, get his speed back. I mean, for you, do you think Barry has enjoyed any part of not having his speed at this point, or do you think he really does really misses it, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think he really just misses it. I don't think, especially with Iris being trapped in the Mirrorverse at the moment, and then Eva being a factor, I don't think any part of him has been like, well, I guess I'll just enjoy this downtime while I can. I think he genuinely not just wants his powers back, but he feels that he needs them back. And he's also started to feel that they define him and what is he without them.
Big bads for season 7. Eric, what was it about Goth that you're like, oh, there's something there for that?
I want to make sure that new fans, especially new young fans who are reading the comic book right now, are welcomed to the show. So it's not just Silver Age villains and Bronze Age villains. There might be a young girl or a young boy who is reading those Flash comics right now and going, where's my villain, my generation's villain?
And with that, let's move on to some fan questions. Last season, we got to see some romantic moments between Barry and Iris, even though it was Mirror Iris. Will we get to see more of that with the real Iris this season? And this question comes from Jamaica.
They will find their way back to each other eventually. A lot of the romance and the chemistry between Grant and I has always been something even deeper than that. It's the way we look at each other and the way the characters are written.
For Grant, which from all over the world wanted to know this, when will we get to see the Flash in the iconic gold boots?
This might be a question for me, but really it's for Eric, because I don't know if this is saying too much, but if it were up to me, it would have been like 2 seasons ago. So,
well, that'll do it for us today. Thank you all for joining me for this panel. I had a really good time. For everyone watching, please make sure you tune into The Flash when it returns in 2021. The Flash, the complete 6th season, is available now on digital and comes out on Blu-ray and DVD on August 25th.
So, this is the DC Fandome. Wow, what a cool place to be. You think you've seen it all? Not even close. Another big game announcement is on the way. Plus, panel discussions with cast of Black Adam, Aquaman, and the Batman. And now for some more of your fan questions. Check it out.
I would like to. I mean, honestly, as a nerd, seeing the whole table of superheroes, like, I got chills, and it would be cool to be like Justice League out. That would be awesome. So I would love for that to happen. And as far as Henderson, I don't know. I was not a fan of him going. So I mean, that still sucks, to be perfectly honest. So I would love for him to be revived, but I will go on record that I wanted him to not die.
Comics have always been an aspiring art form. Our characters have been interpreted in so many ways over the years by incredible artists, including you. Let's take a look at some of your amazing art created by our talented fans right now. Wow, such amazing art. And did you see that Black Adam art piece in there? I wonder what else might be in the store for Black Adam.
I've been waiting for this moment.
for a very long time. This is the one. This is the one that's going to change everything. This is Black Adam. Years ago, Kahndaq was a melting pot of cultures, wealth, power, and magic. Yet most of us had nothing, except for the chains around our necks. Kahndaq needed a hero. Instead, they got me. I did what needed to be done, and they imprisoned me for it. Now, 5,000 years later, I'm free, and I give you my word. No one will ever stop me again. All right, what's up, everybody? And so happy to be joining you guys at the first ever DC FANDOME. You guys are watching from around the world. You're excited. I'm excited. And I got to tell you, first of all, I got to give props to my two friends, Jim Lee and Boss Logic, who teamed up with me to create that really amazing piece that I was so proud to show you guys. Just to give you guys a little sense of the Black Adam movie that we plan to create and deliver for you. Now, I wish I could show you more, a lot more, but as you can imagine, we're still in the very early processes of this creation. But I can promise all of you this, all of you around the world right now watching, I can promise you this, I give you my word, that we are gonna go beyond your wildest expectations. And I already know this because your expectations are high, so are mine. Look, at the end of the day, I truly have one boss that I aim to please, besides my wife and my daughters. And that boss, of course, is you guys, the fans, the audience. Always audience first in my book. All right, so I know you guys got a lot of questions. I'm gonna do my best to answer as many as I can. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. All right, the first question comes in from June Rodriguez of the United States. The question is, how powerful can we expect Black Adam to be? Well, great question, Jude. Thank you for asking that question. As we all know, Black Adam is one of the most powerful superheroes, anti-heroes, villains, whatever you want to call Black Adam. He is one of the most powerful in the DC universe. But as we all know, the superheroes, they have to exhibit a little bit of restraint when it comes to taking care of the bad guys, if you will, or taking care of the people who are opposite them, who are opposing them, who are in their way. But this idea that you could take all of Black Adam's powers and he does not practice restraint, that makes for a really powerful combination, and one that's explosive, one
So
that's
I've missed
very
it.
dangerous,
I missed it.
and
Sorry.
one that is ultimately, I think, very likable. Really powerful
Go back.
combination, and one that's powerful combination, and one that's explosive, one that's very dangerous, and one that is ultimately, I think, very likable, to me at least. All right, next question comes in from Jaden Marvel of Singapore. The question is, if you could take any DC character to join you in an adventure, who would it be and why? The number one choice on who I would love to take with me on an adventure would be Wonder Woman. And I'll tell you why. No, I know what you guys are thinking. Oh, of course you would, Rock. No. Look, Gal is my friend. She's a very good friend of mine. But the character of Wonder Woman is one that I have such a tremendous amount of respect for. I've always thought that this combination of Wonder Woman and Black Adam would make an incredible pairing. So this idea that we would go on an adventure together is something very
That's
cool.
interesting.
The other part to this answer
Kinda cool.
is, I always thought that it might be cool to hang out with Superman. That would be cool, right? I mean, we're kind of similar in terms of our powers, our strengths, our speeds. Because look, at the end of the day, you never know. Black Adam and Superman could become friends. Or they won't. Who knows? Maybe we'll see. All right, this next question comes from
There you go.
Caleb Hammocks from the UK. The question is, out of all the characters you could have played, what is it about Black Adam that stuck out to you that makes
Yeah.
him unique? It's a great question, Caleb. Thank you very much. Caleb or Caleb, I hope I pronounced your name right. You know, as many of you know, Black Adam has been with me for a very, very long time. This has been a project that has been in development for a very long time, over 10 years plus with myself, our producer, Hiram Garcia, who's the president of $7 Productions. I mean, this has been in our DNA and in our wiring for such a long time. One of the main things that I always loved and admired about Black Adam was, number one, he was an anti-hero. He is an anti-hero. I love that. I love that the line is a little blurred. I love that he doesn't toe the mark. I love that he doesn't walk the line. I love that he has his own sense of Black Adam justice. I also love the fact that his origins are that of a slave. When the origins are that of somebody who is enslaved, his people enslaved, his family enslaved, and he's felt the burdens and the pressures of a larger entity holding him down until he can't take it anymore. And when you come from that place, it's just a different energy and a vibe, different mana that you have. So I've always loved that about Black Adam, which informs how Black Adam operates, how he sees justice, how he delivers justice. And I've always appreciated that about Black Adam. Okay, this next great question is from Ayush Butola from India. I hope I pronounced your name right. So from India, thank you for this question. Will you stay faithful to the fact Black Adam, at the end of the day, is a ruthless keeper of justice and not a stereotypical villain or a hero? I love this question.
Wow.
And my
Good question.
stripped away, honest answer is yes. You know, as we all know, there's many variations and iterations of Black Adam that we have all fallen in love with over the years. Over the years. And what I can promise you is the Black Adam that I feel in my heart is the right one to root our story in the beginning, this origin story. This is a character that will possess all the qualities that we have loved, regardless of what variation of Black Adam you've loved, which he is ruthless. He's a ruthless keeper of justice. He is the judge, the jury, and the executioner, and he believes in an eye for an eye, and he will always do everything he can to protect his people, more so protect his family. So that is my answer, and thank you for your question. All right, so here we go. This next question.
They're making this movie
it's a
like
video
it's
question
not going
coming
to
in
be
via
a side
video.
story
All
at
right,
all.
Cool, roll it.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Dwayne? How you doing, man? My question is, I just want to know how you're feeling about the fact that I'm coming for your squat game. I'm just curious.
Well, you know what? Look, I'm glad, Noah, that you said that, because there's a difference between coming for my squat game, different than, Adam Smasher coming for Black Adam's squat game. It's a big difference. So you know what? I welcome it. Dude, good to see you, man. How you been?
Good to see you, too. I've been really good, man. Excited to be here. Excited to be a part of the team, man.
Man, it's so cool to have you be part of this team and to bring Adam Smasher to life, JSA to life, to bring this entire universe that we're going to create together to life. Well, talk to me a little bit about your workouts. I know you've been training hard despite us being locked down. How has that been going? Let the fans know.
It's been really good. There's a lot of different precautions that we take now, but it's been a lot of training outside, on the tarmac or like on the turf, a lot of sled work. A lot of hypertrophy training, if you will. But it's just grinding. You know what that's like, man. It's just a lot of hard work and just trying to, do the best that I can to be ready to come and deliver when it's game day.
Man, you're going to crush this role. I can't wait. I love that you said that you're training on the tarmac, right? So, and the fact that you're on the tarmac means it's about 120 degrees on that tarmac.
Oh, it's warm down here.
Well, man, really quickly, I know that a lot of fans are super excited that we are introducing JSA.
I love The Rock, man.
After all
Gotta
these
love
years.
The Rock.
And what is it about Adam Smasher, which, by the way, is one of my favorite characters, especially, when you see him just grow so large and everything is like just so badass and, yes, and powerful. What is it about the character that attracted you?
You know, man, I think Al, because real name Al Rothstein. I feel like he really has something to prove, especially with his lineage of where his grandfather was kind of a villain, and he's got quite a spirit to just help. And what I love about the character is that he goes through this transformation throughout the film, where I think he's not expecting the world of being a superhero, because this is his first mission. It kind of just like hits him across the face, and so it's this journey that he goes on of what it means to be a superhero, and he gets to really see someone like Black Adam, who takes a different approach, clearly, to solving a problem or fighting bad guys. And it's an exciting character. It's a young character. It's a new, fresh face. And I don't mind being the size of the Eiffel Tower or the Empire State Building. That'd be pretty tight.
I've seen some of the early like previs and renditions, and I got to tell you, it's so cool to see Adam Smasher next to Black Adam, and how, especially when your character, just becomes even more powerful and he grows. It's just such an incredible visual to see Adam Smasher just so big and badass. And Black Adam just reduced, but it's awesome, man, and I'm so happy.
What I don't
you're
understand
on board.
is
And I
how
know you've been working your ass off,
Shazam and Black Adam are eventually going to come together.
Thank you so much for working so hard.
It just seems
This has
so
been
tonally
a
different
passion
already.
Project, a dream of mine for many, many years. So I thank you. My heart is full of gratitude, brother, for all the hard work that you're going to put in. And this is only the beginning. I can't wait to get on set with you, and we're going to crush this movie.
I'm so stoked, man. I can't wait. Thank you for having me aboard. So grateful. Seriously.
Wow, so cool to see my boy Noah. Can't wait for you guys to see him in the movie. He's going to kick ass. All right, now, I tried to get through as many questions as I possibly could. There were literally thousands and thousands of them. And a lot of the questions were about the JSA, the Justice Society of America, and who from the JSA is going to be in our movie. Well, I don't want to reveal too much this early on, but I thought this might answer some of your questions. Take a look.
I have a knack for destroying bullies. But there are some who think I need help.
Hawkman.
Dr. Fate. And their new recruits. Cyclone. And Adam Smasher. They call themselves the Justice Society. An organization that believes in fighting for truth and justice. Well, I'm going to teach them that the only beliefs I fight for are mine. Welcome to Truth, Justice, and the Black Adam Way.
So as you guys can see, we are cooking up something pretty badass and certainly a lot of fun that we are all excited about to deliver to you guys. And I can't wait to show you more. But before I go, I want you guys to help me out with something. It's something that's pretty important. I need you guys to help me get a message out to some of the other ones. Some of the other DC superheroes.
Uh-oh.
Let's let Flash, Shazam, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman. Let's let them know something. Things will never be the same because the hierarchy of power in the DC universe is about to change.
Bro.
Wow, that was amazing. I'm so excited.
Good
to see
panel,
Dwayne
man.
Johnson
I came in
as
on the
Black
end of it.
Adam.
Good panel.
And with that, I'm
Whew.
going to hand this back over to Aisha. Take it away.
Thank you, Lilyco. That was so cool. By the way, guys, Lilyco was a badass wrestler. You guys should totally check her out. Guys, we love hearing from you, our DC fans, okay? So keep tweeting us at #DC FANDOME. Let's keep the conversation going. First, here are more of your questions that are just begging for answers.
All right. I'm going to comment on this in just a second, but
I'd just say the Astra is kind of
Okay. So I missed some of that, but the reality of it is again, tone. Do you see how that panel set a tone for Black Adam? More so than anything, this is the time to do it. When you're in Hall H or something like that, you can't really set a tone. Everyone's laughing. Hey, come see our movie, blah, blah, blah. Check out the trailer. This is an opportunity to be creative and have something, make it feel more spectacular. And Dwayne killed that. He just killed that. You know, the way he kind of intimidated Superman and Batman and everyone at the end like that makes me feel that like he belongs in the universe. What is going on here with the cartoon? Give it to me.
How are you out of toilet paper? Also, I've started talking to myself. Toilet paper was an April problem. Now we're all out of flour. I have flour. I have years of flour. Really? Yes. Can I have some? Maybe. Do you have any toilet paper? I'm on my way to the store right now.
You gotta try the good grocery store. The one on Finger Street.
The other Lego Batman.
Thank you, Lego B. It's weird, right? It's weird that he's here.
It's weird that any of us are here. It's weird times. We just gotta keep it together. Get some toilet paper and make sure we wear our masks when we go out.
I always wear a mask. We all do.
None of you are wearing the right kind of mask.
Future Batman.
I'm wearing a mask. Your masks are like you cut the most important parts of the mask off on purpose.
We get it.
They couldn't be more useless, pandemic-wise.
Thank you.
I should know.
Because you're from the future. Yes, we understand.
Do you? And another thing.
Gee, do you think his connection got cut off? Or do you think our actions erased his timeline?
We can only hope.
Guys, today is all about the superheroes that we all love. And in that spirit, let's
That was great. Yeah. What do you guys think?
celebrate the men and women out there who don't get near a safer
I
place.
think we're behind just a little bit. I'm going to
They don't
scoot
wear capes.
forward.
They are the real superheroes in the fight against a global enemy.
You spend today celebrating your favorite DC superheroes. We'd like to introduce you to some real-life heroes, everyday people who see a need.
So yeah, I mean, it really just nailed the feel. It just gave us a taste of what we're going to see in Black Adam. And for me, that right now is now my most anticipated DC movie. It went from maybe somewhere in the middle to the top. I have to see that movie because, again, how are they going to connect this to Shazam? It's just going to be so different. And the thing about it all is Batman works with that. You could say Man of Steel, Superman works with that. But Flash doesn't fit in that universe. Wonder Woman, I think, can. I don't know. That was super, super, super dope. So guys, we're gonna end this stream here. We'll be back at 5:05, so about 30 minutes or so again for the Aquaman panel. We'll do Aquaman, Ask Harley Quinn, which that's probably not going to be safe for work, just letting you know. Wonder Woman, Tomorrow Superheroes with Jim Lee. How long are those panels? We're not. I don't think we'll do Ask Harley Quinn or Aquaman. I'm thinking those are going to be. Yeah, Aquaman is going to be. I'm going to pull this up for you guys so you can see. Aquaman is going to be just kind of a recap of the last movie, behind the scenes moments. You know, nothing new on a new Aquaman movie. You can even see the old logo there. Harley's going to have a lot of swear words in it. And since we are a family-friendly channel, we're going to hold off on that. Wonder Woman panel, for, that's literally like 5 minutes. Shazam panel is interesting to me. We may come back around here. So let's plan on 5:40. So about an hour. Yeah. From this time. Let's see. So it is 4:33 my time. About 5:40. Jump back on for part 4 of DC Fandome. Remember to choose your destiny. Guys, like us, linktr.ee/select screen, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and on Cash App. Until that time, my name's Select Screen, and I'm out.